What's going on, guys? Welcome to the behind the scene footage of Going the Distance with NikoRox. We welcome you back. We are doing another late night. I had to bring out the energy drinks.
It's no longer late
tonight.
night, it's morning.
Right. I want to welcome you back. This is episode 8.
Nope, it's episode 9.
Episode 9 of Going the Distance with NikoRox. We really appreciate your support. Hope you're enjoying the content that we're putting out. Like, subscribe.
And if you're new to our channel, thank you so much for joining us. We truly do appreciate you taking the time to listen to our story and engage. So we hope that you enjoy it.
Sit back.
Hello everybody and welcome to Going the Distance with NikoRox. I'm your host, Roxanne, aka Roxizzle, and I'm joined by my husband and co-host, Nikolai Rowe.
Hey, what's going on in the kitchen?
Going the Distance is a space where we share our personal story and the ins and outs of long distance dating. For those who know, thank you for joining us again and welcome to everybody that's new. Just to fast forward to where we left off last week, we finally got our paperwork wrapped up. We got our K1 visa approved. We booked our flights. And Yasmin and I were absolutely excited, but also a little bit sad to be leaving the family and life and home behind in Cape Town. But
did you do a party? How did you wrap up the... I know how you wrapped up. You spoke about wrapping up the affairs, like selling all that stuff. But what did you do with like your family ties or your friendship ties? How did you wrap that up?
We did not have a party in the sense of like a farewell party for the two of us, but we did celebrate that, or at least an aspect of it, because just before we left, Yasmin also had her first Holy Communion.
That's right.
So she was able to still celebrate that and do that milestone with some of her church friends. And because of that, my family did actually come. Well, I would say because of that celebration and due to the fact that we were leaving, my core family came down from George to Cape Town. And that was pretty much our farewell. So yes, we did.
And Nunu was kind of hanging out with a lot of her school friends at this time, right?
Well, she just started. It was
that...
at that stage in her school career and at her age where she was spending more time with friends outside of school. Like we had just started doing the hangouts because in the previous years we weren't. She was with cousins, mainly cousins and siblings. So yeah. I guess the attachment just started developing when we had to make the move.
Yeah, I could only imagine how difficult that was, where you're finally in a position to where you're getting the freedoms of being able to hang out with friends, and you're actually, looking forward or wanting to, spend time with them, to have to
on the
now
weekends
uproot your life to a completely another continent.
Yeah. Well, they actually they had a little something for her at one of the friends' homes. So maybe on one Saturday afternoon there was like a pool party and they made that special for her. So that was really nice. In terms of anything else, I'm actually having flashbacks now. I probably had a few parties.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're saying you didn't
knowing
really...
me?
Exactly.
Girl, do you even know yourself? Yes, I had a bunch. Maybe every weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe I had so many farewell get-togethers and events and dinners that I didn't even see it as like one big farewell. But I had a lot.
Right.
I apologize. I was lying on myself.
And on my end, I was super excited that you guys were finally coming. I was in our place for over a year now. And so
just over a year.
And so I was really just trying to put um, the final touches to the place. Again, I went a year with feeling like I was living in a jail cell because I wanted Roxy to put her own little touch on the place. So it was very intentional. Otherwise, I would have this place all decked out. So I started grabbing pictures and looking for things to put up on the wall, pictures of us, little collages where I did want it to have an at home feel.
Totally.
When you walked in with, pictures of us. So I started making plans to do that. And then for Yaz's room, I gave my sister full reins. My sister's an incredible interior designer. She likes these home projects. So I gave her full range on the creative side to decorate Yaz's room. So her idea, she came out with the coloring, the patterns, the sheet. She bought the sheet, the comforter for Yaz's bed. She painted a desk that I had gotten her for her room to match the decor. She took one of the walls in her room and completely chalked it out because she knew that Yaz was creative and liked to draw. So she gave her she made a chalk wall so that she can doodle and do her own little creative space on this wall, which I thought was awesome. And then really that was that on the day of you guys coming
or
arriving. Last minute Susie. So one of the gifts, I went and got little welcome home gifts. I'm super cheesy, but I got Roxy and Yas some welcome home gifts. Both of them, I got house slippers. What better way to feel at home than with some nice cozy house slippers? So I got them both house slippers, and then I got flowers. Balloons. There was balloons.
Was there a banner? Or was it just balloons?
Yeah, it was just, I created a banner with balloons. And then Roxy had a pair of house keys. Welcome home. You're officially, this is your house.
Well, not a pair of house keys, a set.
A set of house keys, yeah.
I have my own key, to the cribs.
Yeah. And to the house, I had put that in the slippers.
Emotional.
And I did this all on the day of the arrival.
Sounds about right.
And I got some flowers. And I got to the airport really, really early.
Oh, I was about to ask, did you think you were going to be late?
No. I got to the airport really early. And just, because we had done it so many times, I knew how long the customs and all that took. Based off your arrival time, I knew I still had a good, I think it takes over an hour and a half almost after the scheduled landing time, and you came in on time. So I was there and I was recording everything. I had the flowers, and then I just waited. Was waiting by the arrivals, and luckily, with international, there's a specific designated area that you come through out of customs.
Yeah.
So I was just waiting there, and it took a good, I would say I was waiting 30, 40 minutes. It felt forever. Maybe it wasn't even that long, but it felt like I was waiting forever. And finally, I see you guys.
Well, I told Yaz on the flight
coming out.
When we landed, I was like, get ready. There's going to be some waterworks that happen now.
Oh, you prepped her?
Yeah, I told her. Even when we left, what I was surprised about was that when we were busy saying our goodbyes at Cape Town International Airport, I was really surprised at how strong she was, how just I just never expected it to be as composed about this size of a move.
That was like a farewell party at the airport.
There was so many. Listen, I think we had at least 20 to 30 people at the airport. I mean, we needed the help, that's for sure. 10 bags of luggage. So you need a little bit of manpower for that. But I was the one obviously bawling my eyes out, and she was fine. She was even like, "Mommy, don't embarrass me at the stage," because maybe I was crying too much. But when we landed, I just like the feeling that we're finally gonna be together. You're gonna see the love of your life. You've gone 18 months without seeing each other, and it's like it's happening. You're touching down. This is home now. Looking out the window. It was real, for sure. And she's like, "Yes, Mommy, I know you're gonna cry when you see Nico." So I said, "Not just me, maybe he's gonna cry too. Like, I'm not the only crier in this family."
I held it together though.
Yeah, you did.
I did. I was super excited.
I didn't.
Because I get emotional with goodbyes. Like I don't think I've ever cried for excitement. That's not the emotion I ever really generate with excitement. But sadness is when I become a chunky belly.
Got it.
So how was the plane ride?
The flight was amazing.
The business class.
I mean, it's different, yeah. Sitting up there.
The air smells different.
We've flown business before, but just having that experience with Yasmin was fun to see her reaction to it. Just the luxury and the amenities and just, what she had access to was fun for me to see how much she enjoyed it. And I knew that helped. It made the flight there, the long hours of being up in the air, for like, she just enjoyed it so much more. I don't even think that she slept at all. She probably binge watched movies and played games and was ordering things from the hostesses left, right, and center. But as long as she was good, I was good,
And after I picked you guys up from the airport, first stop
had to be
Randy's Donuts.
Must.
Any of you guys, if you're from the Los Angeles area, if you've ever come out here to visit, you know Randy Donuts is a staple.
Yep.
Hands down the best donuts I've ever had.
Slightly problematic that we live so close to Dandy's, but we have been practicing our...
self-control.
That's the word.
Yeah, we have.
But that's the first place we stopped at, so that was fun. We actually just played back some of the videos of that landing experience and going to Dandy's, and oh my gosh.
So savory.
Yeah. Okay, so what happens next?
So
you settle in.
You get settled in. Right now, you get in November. Your arrival was in November. And you're settled. You're here. You have your home. This is gonna be your new house.
It was almost like deja vu because Nico had obviously been sending videos of what the apartment building looks like, what it looks like inside our home, the surrounding areas. So when when we were coming down the street or like parking in the garage and coming up the stairs, it's just like all these flashbacks because you've seen it before. And that was pretty dope.
And within a couple weeks of them getting here, I wanted them to obviously unwind and get comfortable. But for me and Roxy, it was really, we had to get down to business. One, she came in on the K1 90-day visa. It's a K1. So we only had 90 days from the time of arrival to get married. And then secondly, I needed to find Yaz a school. And that was priority because the first go around I had gotten Yaz into a school, a really great school, but everything happened and she lost her spot. So this time around I said, I'm gonna wait till you guys get here. And because of the timing of it and the way the school system works, I know in America the school takes a pretty long break for the Christmas holiday time.
Well, that's not long.
Yeah, 3 weeks is long.
That's definitely not long.
I mean, it's not summer, but I mean
Summer's
that's still
long.
that's a significant amount of time to be out of school. Nonetheless, we had agreed to not have Yaz start school until
January,
the start of the next year. We wanted her to get acquainted with Los Angeles. We didn't want her to stress the academics or having to meet new kids right away. And really, it kind of worked out for her because we were putting her into the same grade that she basically completed a full year of.
That's true.
So it wasn't like we
didn't feel pleasure to get into it. And she knew that she would have time to adjust.
Yeah, but it was still on my, agenda to get her into a school. So I started doing my research again and looking at different schools, and I landed on this charter school, which is amazing. It's a Waldorf program. If any of you guys are familiar with that, it's high influence on the arts and creativity. It really was just perfect timing. I reached out to the school. They're big on, diversity, and the grade that Yasmin was going into, they just happened to have, an open spot. This school has a long wait list to get in, and for whatever reason, sometimes it's a little easier when you're starting
literally half the year.
4th grade. But I'm just saying, like, trying to get in at kindergarten
is going to be difficult.
It's really, really difficult. So the fact that we were starting in at the 4th grade gave us a little better of a chance, but they were still full, and a spot opened up, and we were able to get her in. And I'm sure the fact of you guys coming from South Africa was a big plus to help with the diversity of the school.
Thankfully, they are big on diversity.
Yeah, so we got Yaz, we went for a tour. You and I did that together, and we really liked the school, everything that they had to offer. And when we applied and we got the acceptance, in our minds we were still just anticipating Yasmin starting in January. And so then I think the school called, or maybe
they just let us know same day. We were thinking she should start on Monday, and we were like, oh.
No, they didn't even say think, and they didn't give us an option. We had expressed to the school, like, hey, we were planning on, having her start
we said that.
The start of the year, and they're like, no, well, this acceptance is for right now. She needs to start right now.
But mainly because they also knew that her being new, they wanted her to have a sense of familiarity with her classmates and have like a shared memory at least. And one of their big events for the year is in December, which is like their winter fair. And by the time Yasmin got in, they were maybe 2 weeks out. So this would be something that she would be a part of, and then going into the second half of the school year, she would be pretty well integrated, I guess.
Yeah,
and it made a big difference.
A big difference. Again, end of that first semester, going into winter break, the curriculum's not as rigorous.
Yeah,
you're doing more fun activities. So it was a perfect integration to the school, meeting new kids, getting a little more comfort before diving into the curriculum.
So she was sorted pretty fast.
She was sorted
Like
really,
almost immediately after us getting here.
yeah, and this school is amazing. She's learning Japanese. She was playing, the violin. So I'm sure that was a big transition for her too, just
Yeah.
that level of activity that they had. And then for us, we had to plan our wedding. And so initially we had constant conversations back and forth about how we were going to do this wedding, because ultimately we wanted to have, and we're going to have, an official wedding in Cape Town. That was decided early on. But we were trying to figure out how we were going to, do the legality part of our marriage here in California. And Roxy initially just wanted to do, the court wedding, basically just, sign the documents. And initially I was keen on doing that, but after giving it further thought, I just thought it was too legal, I guess, if that makes any sense. It just felt like just signing documentation. And even though I knew ultimately we were going to have the wedding in Cape Town, I still thought that we can have a small ceremony here to dress it up a little bit, to give it a wedding feel, as opposed to just signing paperwork. And I know for you it was probably a big drawback of you not wanting to do that, was the fact that, one, you didn't have your closest family and friends, but more importantly, not thinking that your mom was going to be able to be there. So we had gone back and forth, and then we just finally decided that we were going to have a small, very small, intimate wedding.
Intimate ceremony.
My two best friends. Well, initially we weren't going to have anybody. It was going to be intimate. You know how it's so difficult, especially I have a lot of family here, so it's one of those things where it's better to not just have anybody go, so you don't even have to have those tough conversations, as opposed to explaining, hey, the list is really small. So initially it was just going to be me and Roxy.
Rather you than me.
Yas, my dog, and my sister.
I can't be having that conversation with my family.
My sister got registered to marry us, and so that's all it was gonna be. I had the conversation with my mom, with my dad. They weren't too happy about it, but what could you do? And then
they understood it though.
Yeah, they were being understanding. And
since you want to do it on the beach too, it's not like you can just come and put up a tent and do your own thing. It's got to be under a certain amount of people so that you don't have to have a permit as well. Mm-hmm. Isn't that true?
Well, you don't. Yeah, I mean, we could add more people, but there's a certain number that you have to have a permit.
You have to be under in order to not have a permit.
Correct. But I mean we wouldn't have gotten close to that. Anyway, so it was just going to be me, the four of us. My sister was going to wed us, and then that was going to be that. And then started thinking about it a little bit more and decided, well, I just don't want to do that. Having people that are close to me not be able to attend. So then I was like, well, what if we just kept the the ceremony intimate and then did a little reception afterwards.
A young after party. The turn up.
Right.
So the celebration.
Long story short, we decided on having my parents there, my mom, my dad, my sister wed us, and then I had my two best friends that I've known since childhood, 5 and 8 years old, in attendance. One standing as my best man, and you didn't think your mom was gonna come.
She wasn't. There wasn't plans for her to come. Did she want to come? Absolutely. But the finances were just not readily available, and I wasn't necessarily going to be okay with her going into debt over trying to be here for a wedding ceremony. Yes, I am her eldest daughter, but it's not that important if we know that later on down the line it's our intention to do a ceremony in South Africa. Anyways, we were extremely fortunate enough to have her be able to come as a result of your dad's
my dad's girlfriend at the time. Bless her heart, one of the most generous, selfless things anybody could possibly do. She offered to buy Roxy's mother's ticket to come to the wedding. She just didn't feel that it would be right to not have her mother there. And, you know, I'm still
mind blown.
Exactly. Those are the words.
Yeah.
And grateful that, you know, she did that for us. Yeah. So we were able to have your mom out here.
There. She was able to walk me down, as I say, walk me down the staircase and not so much an aisle, because since we got married at the beach, there were these probably 50 steps that we had to walk down before we got to the sand. But where everybody on the beach, Nikolai and friends and whoever was waiting down, they were able to see me and my mom come down.
The grand entrance.
The grand entrance. And that was a moment I'll never forget. It was amazing.
It was sunset. What did you want? Let's talk about it. What did you... Day of, what did you do? Did you...
I didn't do too much on the day outside of home. I kept it pretty simple. I did have a hairstylist come over and do my hair. My makeup, I just went to like the Mac store just to have it done. My dress, I always had the idea that my wedding dress was going to be non-traditional, and I love black's my favorite color, so I ended up actually finding a beautiful black dress in one of the stores, one of the first boutique stores I walked into when I was like soon after I got to LA, because we happened to be doing a shoot where I saw this dress blowing outside on a mannequin, and I also had a prerequisite that my wedding dress is something that I can wear more than once. That's just how I feel about fashion in general. If it doesn't have more than one option, I don't know. It's not really for me. So I was set. Since I had the dress, the jewelry, my hair and makeup done, I think maybe I may have gone with only my mom-in-law and my mom, and we had our nails done. Maybe some manis and pedis a day or two before, because I don't like doing things last minute, and I definitely didn't want to be that bride having those things to do on the day, knowing that, you know, we need to be at the beach at a certain time so that at least we have light for pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my favorite time of the day.
Yeah, and I made a day of it. I had my best friend flew in from Arizona, and so Marcus and Armand, we went out. We had a little male pampering session.
You guys did the most.
We had champagne at a salon. Is it salon over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Had a little champagne at a salon. Got Pedicures, mani and pedis. You know, I had to have my hands looking right when I'm putting that ring on.
I beg. Not that they look bad, but
right.
you know,
for the pictures.
be on point.
Right. So yeah, we did that. We had some champagne, got some manicures and pedicures, and then we went.
Didn't you have breakfast too? Like, didn't you guys go eat out and?
No, we didn't do breakfast. But after those, we went down to Venice Beach.
And all over the place.
And had some,
must be nice.
And had some cocktails and some good food. We went to the Whaler. That place is amazing. Nice view of the beach down in Marina del Rey.
Okay.
And
where did you get ready?
My mom's.
Because I got ready at home.
Yeah, we did do that traditional aspect. When I parted ways with Roxy in the morning, I didn't see her again until she came down the stairs, and I specifically wanted that way. I'm
really
Mr.
I feel
hopeless
like I could
romantic.
have said that too.
I don't think so. You were just like, let's get this thing. Let's get this thing done. And I'm like, I know it's not the official, but I want it to feel official.
Are you sure I didn't say you can sleep out even?
You know, it's like, I'm taking me off the market. I need to make this like...
Oh my gosh.
I need to make this real nice.
Okay.
So when we parted ways in the morning, I didn't see you again until the evening. We went back to my mom's where we got dressed, and then I picked up my dog. She was so cute. She had a little pink bow with a bell. So before Roxy got there, the photographer took pictures of me and the guys and me and my dog, and it couldn't have been any better. Any better.
What couldn't have been any better?
The beach, the sunset was coming nice, the lighting. The beach was empty. So it was like we rented it out for ourselves. And so we got some amazing pictures with me and my two best friends, me and my dog. Then my mom and dad finally arrived. Did you come with them? Or how did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I came with Mom.
And then so my mom, dad, my sister, everybody came.
And Yasmin.
No, not Yas. She came down with you.
All of us arrived together.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is...
You guys were waiting
my family,
at the bottom.
my mom and dad came down.
And you were waiting.
And we took more pictures. And then we were waiting. And then this beautiful, beautiful queen just comes down.
I ascended. Was it descended? I descended. Because I came from heaven myself.
And
that's how up the stairs were.
Yeah, the stairs were long.
It's a lot of stairs. When I was halfway, I'm like, yo, is this still more stairs?
It was a
out
long
of breath
trip.
Much.
And so we had a nice little ceremony. Super emotional. I was not expecting to get... Oh, I said I don't even cry for excitement. That was...
I don't know.
That was the first time in my life that I swear that I cried for something happy and exciting. And it was the most random feelings that I've had, as far as I wasn't expecting myself to react that way. You know, I've heard about other people crying at their wedding. I just didn't think I would. But when my sister started reading, what is it?
Some of the verses?
Yeah, some of the verses.
Sorry to break your word. Continue.
And I just started, everything that we've gone through. The time apart, the 18 months of not seeing each other, the roadblocks, everything to get to this point, all the times of feeling like this possibly isn't going to work out. And now I'm sitting here face to face on my wedding day, and it's happening, it's real. And Man, I just broke down. Tears will come down my face. I had to like look away. I couldn't look at you. I had to turn my head like to.
You were looking down.
I had to, because it was like looking at you made it real, and then it made like the emotions flow. But I had to stay composed, so I had to look away or just briefly to to gather myself.
You look nice when you break down.
No, chubby strong.
No.
I got choked up, but I held it through. I was able to do my vows. We didn't write our own for this one. We will do that for our Cape Town wedding. It was beautiful, man. I mean, I can't really say anything else.
The most beautiful
about
day.
That.
The most.
I mean, the
beautiful day.
The pictures. I mean, you guys will see.
We didn't even spend a lot of time there after the fact because,
to be honest,
it was really cold by that time too. It's not like it was summertime. It's not summer.
But even, I mean, because the wedding itself was prime time. But then right after everything was said and done, we were kind of fighting the light.
And as soon as the sun starts setting, it happens pretty rapidly. So the temperature drops at that speed as well. And I know that our guests were feeling very cold. So they, as soon as we did a few group photos, they left and they went to the Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
But we stayed maybe 10 minutes. And all the pictures that you guys will see, or some have seen on social media, those pictures were all taken within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Snap, 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 snap.
Quick.
Done. First take wonders.
Yeah.
My family can't do anything just regular. It's just not how we roll.
Why? What wasn't regular?
You know, because like what started as like, oh, let's just
gonna hang out.
We're just gonna hang out, or we're just gonna sign these paperworks, turned into a beautiful beach wedding, turned into a beautiful after party. Reception. I had my second parents fly down from Sacramento. They're Marcus's parents, the guy I've known since I was 5 years old. They came down to be at the reception. Your girlfriends came.
Girlfriend only had one.
Oh, the other one didn't show up, but you were. But she was supposed to come.
Who?
Andrea?
No.
Yeah.
She wasn't in LA. I only had one girlfriend.
She was supposed to be here, but she wasn't gonna be. Got it. But man, we had a ball. Lovely. We turned up.
You were already halfway there.
No.
All the drinking you did that day, that morning.
I paced myself.
Okay. Well. Oh, okay. Careful now, don't fall, please. Yes. We're juiced by the time it was nighttime.
We have some funny videos.
Everybody had such a good time, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, we had a nice Airbnb.
You stayed the night there?
Roxy was bringing out her rapping skills.
Because I was drinking then by that time. So then, if there's music playing,
and she knows all the lyrics.
Yeah, and then
my dad's friend who was there was just blown away that every song he played,
study the music.
She was rapping to it.
Yeah.
Old school R&B, old school hip hop.
So nice.
That's funny. So then the next day we had mini staycation, honeymoon.
Yeah, little baby one.
Yeah. And
that was lovely too.
You know, we had to consummate the marriage. So stupid. We had to make it official.
Yeah. Husband now.
Wife. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not official till it's official.
So they say.
Yes. Everything else was practice.
Oh my gosh.
Really nice hotel on the beach in Hermosa. We spent some time in the room, just a little bit of time in in the room.
We went out for dinner.
Yeah, we went to a nice sushi dinner. And that was that.
That was our wedding weekend.
That was.
Was school happening the next day? Was Yas was in school during that time. I feel like she went to school.
Yeah.
Because my mother was here, fortunately, to be with her while we were staying at the hotel. So I feel like the regular programming continued. That was Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. So then I think my mom took us to school.
Yeah. Back to living life.
Yeah, you showed your mom around?
All three of us did, really. A lot of sightseeing. She just really enjoyed being here. It was fun to go see, like, the, what do you call it? The walk?
Hollywood Walk of Fame.
That, and like the Hollywood sign and all the touristy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we also planned to celebrate Yasmin's birthday, which was before we got married, but we thought since my mother was going to be here, let's just do something with all of us present.
Oh, we turned up,
and we took the two of them to Disneyland. So it was both my mother and Yasmin's first time at Disneyland. So much fun.
It's so much fun. That was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot we did that for her. Yes,
my
birthday
mother,
with your mom there.
She left soon after. She wasn't able to stay very long, but obviously that was another emotional goodbye. That's the last time I've seen my mom, and that was February last year, February 2019.
And then after your mom left, it was really back to business.
Yes. We submitted the paperwork though. Like we submitted our what do you call them? The marriage documents.
The wedding certificate.
Just like the wedding certificate. As soon as
we had to wait. That took a little while. I mean, we after the wedding, like the next day.
Yeah.
We submitted the documents, to make it official. But to get your certificate, it takes a few weeks to come in.
Yeah.
So we were, being as proactive as we could with getting our documents to our attorney. Once again, she wasn't being very helpful.
Not at all, because at this point, as you may or may not know, or at least let me remind you, it's a 90-day visa. So we also waited quite long to set a wedding date because so much was happening, right?
I think we waited till the last month that we had. We
waited till the last month, maybe even like 2 weeks before that 90 days was about to be up. But there were other reasons aside from the fact that my mother was going to be able to join. Wasn't it Marcus and Rachel's wedding, or like what else was happening? There were other things happening that we took into consideration as well. So that aside, my visa, Yasmin and my visa actually expired. Once that 90 days is up, your visa expires. So now you're in a country where, yes, you got married before that 90 days were up, but you're still walking around with a visa that is expired and you don't really have any other documentation besides the marriage certificate that comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So once we got the marriage certificate, we send a scanned copy to our attorney, and now we like, you got to get on the change, what do you call it? Adjustment of status.
Mm-hmm. Adjustment of status to green card.
Yeah. So we needed to do that changeover, which also takes however long. I don't know, a few weeks, maybe months.
No,
I forget.
The adjustment of status could take
6 months.
Yeah, 6 months to a year. That's a long process. And I think for you didn't know it was gonna take a full year. You were thinking that it was supposed to take like year. Well, we were told by our incompetent attorney that it was gonna take like maybe
6 months.
4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was anticipating that. That's what I had in my mind, and I was okay with it because that is what she said. But yeah, did she leave us in the lurch again? Absolutely, 1000%. We had been phoning her, emailing her, texting her, just trying to figure out what's happening? You have our document, so now all you have to do is submit all of it so that the change can be made from K1 fiance visa to permanent resident.
Permanent resident.
That's the crossover.
And the time clock doesn't start until the documents are filed. So that 6 months doesn't begin until you file your paperwork. And so for a few months, was it a few?
We get married in February. We hope to file everything by March because that's when we have our certificate. She goes quiet. Week 1, week 2, week 3, she's quiet. When she does get back to us, it's also those long-winded excuses, but also no responsibilities being taken for the lack of communication, the lack of action. We paid her for the filing fees, which is over $1,500.
And selfishly, at this moment in time, I can tell there's kind of a shift in the role. When Roxy was in Cape Town, she was so busy and life was moving so fast.
I didn't notice it.
You didn't notice it, and you didn't really have that urgency with Katie.
Yeah,
I definitely you were busy. You had things going. You had other things
to do.
And so I was the one blowing Katie up and making sure things got sorted or figure out what the hell are you doing. And now this time around, there was definitely a shift because for me, I'm kind of at peace. Like, I got my girls here. Like, you know, life is still moving for me. Obviously, I can work. I'm a citizen, so work is not being affected. I got my girls here.
You're good, man.
I'm good, and I just saw the level of anxiety and anxiousness that you had because you just wanted to get to work. I know how big of an importance work is for you, and it was really starting to drive you crazy. And we knew ultimately it might have to go to this, but we were trying so hard, as much as we didn't want to. We just wanted to get this document filed because we knew that if we had to get a new attorney, that we were going to have to pay all the attorney fees all over again just to file something when you're already that close to being
at the tip
complete.
Of the threshold. It requires someone to just do their job, do what they're being paid to do. And since we had already paid the money, it's like, we've just paid you close to $2,000. Yes, we could potentially just cut our losses and move on and save yourself the stress and give yourself peace of mind. But not everybody just has $2,000, $3,000, or whatever the immigration attorneys charge lying around.
Right.
And that was the biggest setback, not having that disposable cash. So once I actually just got a payout from a job I had done years ago, not even one of the recent ones, it was a gift from God.
Yeah, but I also think that, and then that gave you enough, that you booking that job or getting the money from that job gave you the oomph to start seeking out other attorneys just to kind of get some advice as to what we should do from here. And after, would you meet
I spoke to two different attorneys, yeah. And based off of referrals from friends of mine who had not the exact same visa, but visas as South Africans, sort their paperwork and their things out pretty effortlessly. and then we decided to go with one of them. So
yeah,
we had to bite the bullet and spend all the money that came in. Well, I feel like that's why the money came in the first place. That was what it was meant to go to.
And so finally, after
waiting from March to May, that's how long we waited for Katie just to do her job, which she didn't do. So we ended up firing her.
We had to fire her. I saw Roxy itching to get this document started because we knew that it was going to be at least a 6-month, time frame to get that green card. She wants to get back to work.
It's already June. It's the end of May, the first week of June by this point.
So after all this, after all the emails, the phone calls, trying to get this attorney to just do her job, it finally came to an end. We had to let her go and start the process with a new attorney. We're going to stop here, guys. There's a lot more to talk about. We will begin next week with our new attorney, which does have some great upside because they handled this way more professional than our last experience. So we want to thank you for tuning in to this episode of Going the Distance with NikoRox. If this resonated with you, if you've had a similar experience, or you just like the content, please like, share, subscribe, pass it along to your friends. Also very important, we really like engaging with our listeners. If you have any questions, any feedback, please.
Compliments.
Oh, we love compliments. Please send them our way. We do read them. You can send those to nikolai.roxanne@gmail.com.
Or just connect with us on Instagram. Whatever's easiest for you. We are all over the show. Our handle is NikoRox on IG.
That's correct.
Must have been a godsend because now the sprinklers are going on outside.
Perfect timing. I knew it.
All of these things.
I knew it. Timing. It's that internal clock.
Oh.
Whew. That was a long one. I thought we were going to get more in, but we cut some of it, so that will roll over till next week. And I hope you enjoyed this episode of behind-the-scenes footage of Going the Distance with NikoRox. We have some more to uncover. That's not a word.
Uncover is what?
Oh, uncover. Yeah. Reveal.
There's more. There's always going to be more.
There's always more. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell.
So you are notified whenever we post content so that we know that this is the kind of content that you like.
Peace and love.
Bye.